Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And today is yet again another episode filled with crypto stuff, so make sure you watch it all the way through so you don't miss out on anything important. Also guys, we are hosting another 100 Xrp giveaway, and if you want to enter, all you have to do is 3 simple things. Make sure you press the like button, make sure you are subscribed, and make sure you comment something down below. Having said that, let's dive in. Bank of Canada may be accelerating digital currency plans. The pandemic is apparently forcing the Bank of Canada to rethink its timeline for a central bank digital currency, according to Timothy Lane. And I have a question, where are you guys watching from? Put that down below, because I kind of want to see if there's really people watching from Canada, as I think the percentage is below 1%. If at all anybody. I don't really hear you guys in the comment section too much, so put down where you're watching from, especially if you are from Canada. The Bank of Canada said earlier this year it wasn't planning to implement a digital currency anytime soon. The bank plans to develop one only as a contingency should the need arise, and now Timothy Lane, a deputy governor of the bank, says the pandemic may have accelerated some of the necessary preconditions for a potential CBDC. So the point of this whole article, I've read it now and I kind of regret reading it, because the whole point here is, at first they thought we don't really need it, we might just make it for maybe the case of, and now because of the whole pandemic and a couple months later, they finally understand that this might actually be a lot more important, and thus they are definitely looking into it a little bit better than they were before. Ripple CEO walks back threat to leave US. I found this very difficult to understand for the title alone, because I don't know what this means. To walk back threat? I don't really get that, but that's what the title here says. The takeaway, Ripple used to position itself as a regulator-friendly crypto firm. Now the company is threatening to leave the US over regulatory uncertainty. Lack of clarity from the SEC about XRP's legal status looks to be the sticking point, and the company is fighting several private investor lawsuits over the security question and reportedly eyeing an initial public offering, an IPO, which is just going public with your stocks. So the thing is, I've read this one once more and I kind of regret the whole thing as well, as they're saying here that there's like a subtitle which says change of tone, but the whole article part below there is nothing but garbage to a certain sense, as everything here is just explaining the situation that Ripple is in, but I think we all know that already, right? We first of all know the situation that Ripple is in. We also know they can just walk out of the US without any trouble. We also know they probably won't be deemed a security regardless, and even as it does happen, as I just said, they can just walk away because they would only lose maybe 5% of their customers and really nothing much would go on. They could just operate like no tomorrow, so I'm personally not really too worried about anything like that, and them threatening to leave the US is not a threat of, we don't want to be in the US, but it's just, if the US does not want to stimulate innovation, well, we must go, which is completely logical in my opinion. So it's a thing that's been going on for a couple of weeks though, and they got a couple of places to go: Dubai, England, Japan. Bitcoin volatility reached 5-month high in November. It's actually kind of interesting. I've said before, I think volatility is beautiful, as volatility to a certain degree also helps out with the expected return, or in this case with the value that XRP can eventually get. If the volatility is very low, you probably won't see many of those plus 100% or plus 40% or so days. It'll probably mean you're at maximum going to see a +2, or at minimum like a -2, or no, that's also a maximum then I guess. At maximum a plus or -2%, which it's not really what I'm here for. I really like these huge bumps in price, first of all, because those make your trades a lot cooler. You'll see a lot more profit really quickly, of course losses as well, but it also just, it's like the game, right? We all have played this crypto game for a little bit right now, and with crypto comes the high volatility, and I love it, all right? I've gotten completely used to it. If it were to go away right now, it would be very, very odd, and on that sense, new congressional bill seeks to regulate stablecoins, and again, it's not my style. I don't like stablecoins too much, but the proposed bill would make it illegal to issue stablecoins in the US without federal approval, and that one would definitely hurt the crypto space a little bit. Because maybe you guys didn't know, but Tether, USDC, and there's a couple other ones that I guess are not as popular, but they really, really rule the crypto realm. There's so many trades being done against these crypto. I guess now we have DAI here. What else do we got? We got nothing else in the top 5 or in the top 50. That's a $1 coin. They are so popular. They're so well used. And I think if they were to be completely banned in the US, either once more you can just not buy them there, or you cannot use them there. But I also don't know what the big problem would be if they were to be denominated in US dollar, or if they would represent $1. By the way, why is this coin up 50%? I remember this is one of the first coins I've ever bought in my life, I believe, when I was getting into altcoins and not Bitcoin itself, because I think it was available on Exodus, which I used at the time. You could like swap it, so I swapped like $1 worth, I believe, but that's years ago. I think that's really somewhere around this area. That's crazy. What's going on with this thing, man? Why is it pumping right now? I just noticed that. I just wanted to quickly ask, what's going on? Let me know in the comment section if you hold this. What's going on? 50%, crazy. 40% in an hour. They must have had some crazy announcement to go 40% in 1 hour. You don't really see that often, guys. So I'm kind of bamboozled. Of course, there's a lot of currencies that do it, but they're not high up, right? This one is a 44th place. That's something you see every day. I'm actually quite amazed by that. It's pretty cool. All right, moving on though. Again, stablecoins. I don't know how they would go against this, but in brief here they wrote, the Stable Act would require stablecoin issuers to meet the same sorts of regulatory requirements as banks. It was proposed by Representatives Rashida Tlaib, Jesus Chuy Garcia, and Stephen Lynch, and it has not been assigned to a committee. The thing is, though, I kind of feel as if this is a very good thing for crypto, as, well, stablecoins and really everything that's representing a dollar and stuff like that is pretty dumb. Because, well, first of all, we don't know if it's properly backed by real US dollars. That's one thing. But it's also like, well, if they do some sketchy stuff, 95% of us, or 99 even, of us wouldn't know. And we'd still use it. Now, there may be some guys who check the source code, or who are updated every time with what's happening to Tether. But I personally don't, all right? Not even a single piece of effort is ever being put by me to check how Tether is doing and what's going on with that one, all right? I could just easily tell you guys right now, I never check it, nor do I want to. From that perspective, though, as well, it could be that they're scamming everybody, which we've talked about before, because they've had some scandals in their time. And thus, I can understand if they want it to be properly regulated, and I do respect that in a certain sense. Even though it might be bad. I don't know. The real reason why you shouldn't spend Bitcoin, many people believe Bitcoin is designed for making daily payments, but many diehard Bitcoiners argue it has a greater mission. So we can go long, we can go short. The point is here, if you sell Bitcoin, you're most likely missing out on a lot of money. And this article here has a couple of different sides with the true value and whatnot. But trust me, guys, when I say that spending your Bitcoin is, even though it's kind of designed to do that, in my opinion as well, it's not your best option, because you're going to feel like that pizza guy eventually. And the same kind of story goes for spending your XRP, spending your other altcoins. It's just kind of a waste, in my opinion, unless you have to, or unless you have just put some dollars in, it's already gone up a little bit, and you're just, just doing some normal grocery shopping, and you want to use that for fun. It's not like heavy spendings, like you're taking like a 5% or 10% cut out of your whole crypto income to buy things, or your crypto wealth. Because I've said before, if your plan is to cash out, go right on ahead, but don't spend it on something that you could have also bought a year later, if you guys get me, right? Don't go spend your crypto on things like a car, like I've talked about before, unless you want to take out profits and buy the car to make sure that you're good. We saw it before with the BitConnect promoters, this is a couple of years ago, that a lot of them had a lot of Bitcoins from just scamming, so to speak, but they also bought a lot of stupid things. So Trayvon James, what was his name? If you guys know, comment it down below. I don't quite remember. I think it was Trayvon Justin, or Trayvon James, or Trayvon, something like that. He had crazy hair. I believe. I don't really remember too well. But he had, let's say, for example, quite a lot of Bitcoins. But let's say he had, let's say 20, 25. And he used 13 of those because, well, business was doing well for him. And he used 13 of those to buy like a $70,000 car, like a BMW X6, I believe he bought. The thing is, though, if we look back at that decision right now, this was 2017, 18, I don't remember. So I think 2017, because 2000, yeah, it was before the boom, I think. Yeah, it must have been. So if you think about it now, he spent 13 Bitcoins possibly to buy that thing of $70,000 worth. If you do the math for yourself a little bit, that's right now $260,000, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe $240,000. You guys get the idea. So his $70,000 car, which has only gone down in value, he could have now had $260,000 had he waited a year. Unless you really needed that car, which I don't think you could ever need because you could also have bought a $1,000 car instead of a $70,000 one. If you had just waited a little bit, and that's what the thing with crypto though, because every time you buy something a year later, or maybe 3 years later, who knows, it's just worth so much more that I kind of feel like you shouldn't be taking that risk, right? Unless once more you want to cash out some profits, which is your rightful own decision. And I mean, Bitcoin on its own specifically is already at its all-time high, so if you really want to cash out some now you've already held for a long time, go right ahead. I mean, for a lot of us, the Bitcoin average price is very, very low. You know, I think a lot of you guys that are watching this video right now actually have a Bitcoin price lower than $3,000. I think a lot of you guys will have that. And the same for XRP. I think a lot of people watching right now have an XRP average price lower than 20 cents. So theoretically speaking, if you have 3 times your money right now, you want to take some profits, I'm not even blaming you. But think about it though. Think about it. And by the way, if you want to put cash out things, use this sheet if you are a channel member. By the way, I'm updating it, not daily, but like twice a week. I think I'm going to be doing it because, again, I have a life as well, and this is just for fun. I think it's cool, but if you guys have any suggestions, you should always let me know. But again, this is just for channel members right now. If you want to get access to it, you either have to do that, or you just look at it right now and copy in the formulas and make it for yourself, because I do think it's a pretty cool thing. Ripple is losing customers because of XRP, Brad Garlinghouse says, and I just showed this to you, by the way, to show you that you should be putting your cash outs in all the time, and I keep recommending that to make sure your cash outs are ready so you don't go around them. Oh, I just closed the article by accident. Let's get that back. Ripple losing customers because of XRP, Brad Garlinghouse says, does regulatory uncertainty around XRP prevent Ripple from onboarding more clients? Here's what Brad Garlinghouse had to say. Yes, is the answer, the short answer. It does. However, would they have had more customers right now had XRP not been a thing? You cannot really say that. Or, you know, would they? I don't know. The whole point of this one is actually, if the SEC would have just said that XRP is not a security, they would do better. Point. Nearly 2/3 of PayPal users aim to use Bitcoin at merchant stores, study finds. Now, I would actually personally like this one as well. I've earlier questioned how exactly it would work with drawbacks and whatnot, or what are they called now? Where you try to get your money back, cashbacks? No, that's not the name. Refunds, sort of refunds. It's like chargebacks. That's the name. Oh my God, guys! If you even had an idea of how many chargebacks I've had to deal with in my time here, guys, thousands upon thousands. It's so annoying, but I've gotten used to it now. However, nearly 20% of PayPal users are ready to use and hold Bitcoin on the platform report. Can this push BTC past its all-time high price? Research firm sets PayPal stock price target at a 35% increase due to the Bitcoin excitement, which I kind of agree with. You know, I think PayPal had made a very, very beautiful move here, and I think most holders and most investors in PayPal also like this one because I don't really see any bad side to it. Like, I've thought about it now, and I don't really see any bad side because worst case scenario, they don't use Bitcoin at all, or, you know, they don't really do much with that, or they just don't allow many use cases, and they just allow the buying on that platform. But even if prices of Bitcoin go to zero, there's nothing really bad happening to PayPal then in that sense because it doesn't really hurt them. All right, maybe it hurts their net assets, but people are still buying the Bitcoin on their platform, so it kind of doesn't, if you think about it that way. And yeah, again, with PayPal, it's actually kind of funny because if you buy crypto on PayPal, which right now is not that many, you could also just be buying it on Webull, which I personally recommend. I've told people that this is the one I like a lot because if you make an account here, you get 2 free stocks. And if you deposit maybe like $100 or so, which again, you can take off again, I believe. I don't think there's any rules to that. You get 2 more free stocks, which are valued between like maybe $3 and $1,600. So it's definitely worth the checkout if you're from the US. The thing is though, if you buy crypto here, you're actually not getting your private keys and stuff like that. So this is not handy if you want to withdraw your crypto. The thing is though, if you are just here for money and you want to make money with crypto, you want to trade possibly or just hold even, it's still going to be working fine because it just works like any other place like PayPal would be doing, that they have control over the private keys. But I've also said a couple of people, if you have your money on exchanges like Binance, they are controlling your money regardless. So yeah, theoretically speaking, you can withdraw, but only if they let you do that. So once more, it doesn't really matter if you are keeping your money on exchanges, if you buy here or not. It only matters if you were to want to self-custody, then this is not the best option. Oh yeah, by the way, Facebook has changed, or Facebook's Libra has changed their name to Diem, which I'll talk about on 5 Minute Crypto. Ripple CTO congratulates Ethereum community on the successful launch of Ethereum 2.0 Beacon Chain, which was interesting. David Schwartz went over to Twitter to say, improving public blockchains is like a fine wine. It takes a long time before it's ready to enjoy. Today marks a major step for Ethereum 2. Congrats to Ethereum community on the launch of the Beacon chain, which again was a pretty exciting thing, and I was again pretty happy to see that that also succeeded. I mean, there's a couple of complications that already came on, but it's pretty cool to see that it did hit its required amount, which by the way is going to take Ethereum from a proof of work to a proof of stake. And then Grayscale splits Ethereum stock worth $1.6 billion, making it cheaper to buy. Grayscale, a crypto investment fund, is splitting its stock, and this makes it more accessible to the masses. So basically, Grayscale is like kind of an index fund. It's a trust, but it's kind of an index fund really for crypto, kind of. And Grayscale is slashing their shares in the Ethereum fund or trust into 9 pieces. So at first, let's say it was costing $900 for one share. Then right now it would only be $100, which makes it more accessible to, again, smaller fries and smaller fishes. So that is, again, pretty damn cool to see. I always like it when they do this, though. Kind of feels nice. Let's see here. We can see how much it was before, but in the end, I don't really care. Like, I think it was a couple $100, and now they went to maybe like $60 a thing. I don't really care, though. I mean, I'm not even having money on there. I don't use Grayscale or anything like that. So I mean, who really cares? It's just cool to see that Grayscale is doing that, and if you're involved with that, then you know. I wanted to do some TA here, but I guess I'm going to skip it for right now, as I don't think it's relevant to the video at all. And a lot of you guys said you watch the videos in the car, and it's very annoying if I do TA, because then you can't keep up with all of that, because you have to watch the road. So I'm going to respect that one for today. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. See you guys again in another crypto video. Take care, everybody.